This just happened, and things are heating up in Philadelphia. The Eagles have just made some behind-the-scenes moves and are about to sign a name no one expected. Sign up now, because this signing is the kind that makes you believe again. 2 consecutive losses and a frustrating offensive slump have caused a stir in Philadelphia, and at the center of the storm is one name, A.J. Brown. Once considered untouchable, the all-pro wide receiver is suddenly at the center of trade rumors that could shake up the NFL landscape before the November 4th deadline. It all started with a cryptic post that sent fans into a frenzy. After a win over the Buccaneers, Brown wrote on social media, "If you're not welcome, not heard, leave quietly. Don't make a scene. Shrug it off and move on." The message instantly exploded, sparking speculation about locker room friction and frustration with his role in the offense. Within hours, Brown tried to shrug off the chaos, reaffirming that Philadelphia is where I want to be. But by then, the story had already caught fire, and the rumors haven't stopped since. Then came the spark that reignited the fire. Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports proposed a shocking trade scenario that would send Brown to the Pittsburgh Steelers. In this simulated blockbuster, the Eagles received tight end Pat Freiermuth, linebacker Alex Highsmith, and a 2026 third-round draft pick in return. The logic behind it was bold. The Steelers, now fully committed to their short-term championship window with Aaron Rodgers under center, are seeking elite weapons to make one last push for the Super Bowl. Brown, reunited with Rodgers, could instantly transform their offense into one of the most explosive units in the league. For the Eagles, the hypothetical deal isn't fully on offer. Freiermuth could provide valuable depth at tight end and serve as a potential successor to Dallas Goedert, whose contract expires soon. Meanwhile, Highsmith, one of the AFC's most underrated edge rushers, would fill a critical void in Philadelphia's pass rush after the recent spate of injuries and retirements. Still, trading a top-5 receiver in the prime of his career seems almost unthinkable for a reigning Super Bowl champion. Brown has been one of Jalen Hurts' most reliable targets, a key presence who could take over at any moment. But the fact that such discussions exist raises questions about the state of the locker room and whether cracks are beginning to form beneath the surface of a franchise built on chemistry and trust. Sources close to the time insist the front office has no interest in moving Brown, but some fans aren't ready. The combination of social media drama, experimental stagnation, and visible frustration on the sidelines has made this story impossible to ignore. While the A.J. Brown saga dominates the headlines, the Philadelphia Eagles may be preparing for another move, one that could reshape the defense and remind the league that the front office never stops. With the trade deadline approaching, ESPN's Bill Barnwell proposed a deal that's generating buzz. The Eagles taking a chance on Pro Bowl cornerback Rick Woolen from the Seattle Seahawks. It's no secret that the Eagles' defense doesn't look like the dominant unit that won the title months ago. The offseason exodus was harsh. Key starters left, and the secondary was exposed more than once. And then came the final blow. Veteran pass rusher Zadarius Smith announced his surprise retirement after just 5 games, leaving a massive hole in the team's defensive line. Suddenly, the defense that once struck fear into quarterbacks now looks vulnerable. That's where Woolen comes in. According to Barnwell's trade simulation, the Eagles sent cornerback Kelly Ringo and a 2026 fourth-round draft pick to Seattle in exchange for Woolen and a 5th-round draft pick. On paper, it's a winning move that makes perfect sense. Ringo, while promising, is still developing, while Woolen is a proven playmaker with elite speed and a rare combination of size and athleticism. At just 26 years old, Woolen already has a Pro Bowl selection under his belt after a rookie season in which he recorded 6 interceptions, 16 passes defended, and over 60 tackles. Since then, opposing quarterbacks have learned to avoid his side of the field, which explains the drop in interception statistics, but not without impact. This season, he remains active, recording 17 tackles and a crucial pass defense while winning over the NFC West's top receivers. Philadelphia's secondary desperately needs that kind of firepower. Veteran Adoree Jackson has struggled with both health and consistency, frequently becoming the target of criticism, even from former Eagles tight end LaShawn McCoy, who recently criticized his lack of commitment in the loss to the Giants, calling his play weak. Behind Jackson, young cornerbacks like Ringo have shown potential but haven't yet earned the confidence to face WR1 matchups week after week. That's why this proposed deal feels more than just fantasy. It feels necessary. Pairing Woolen with second-year standout Quinion Mitchell, who is finally returning from his hamstring injury and resumed limited practice this week, could instantly give the Eagles one of the most athletic and dangerous cornerback duos in the NFL. More importantly, it would send a message. The Eagles aren't sitting around waiting for the season to resolve itself. They're being proactive, aggressive, and determined to stay ahead of the curve. Even with the A.J. Brown trade rumor swirling on offense, the front office seems focused on stabilizing the defense, ensuring the roster remains remains championship caliber. And make no mistake, if this deal comes close to reality, it will shake up the NFC. Adding Woolen to a roster already featuring Mitchell, Reed Blankenship, and James Bradbury would give defensive coordinator Vic Fangio more flexibility and depth than he's had all season. It's the kind of move that could revive Philadelphia's arrogance heading into the colder months, when playoff dreams are made or dashed. And even with this potential arrival stirring up the back room, our concern is growing within the locker room. And this time it involves one of the team's biggest stars. As trade rumors swirl and the defense seeks to rebuild its identity, the Philadelphia Eagles have been hit with yet another upheaval, and it could impact their season more than any trade. Star defensive tackle Jalen Carter, the heart and soul of the Eagles' defensive line, has been officially held out of practice due to a heel injury, raising serious concerns ahead of the team's Week 7 matchup against the Minnesota Vikings. For weeks, Carter has been the only constant on a defense struggling to stay afloat. His presence alone changes the way opposing offenses prepare. His explosiveness at the line of scrimmage and relentless pursuit of quarterbacks make him nearly impossible to replace. But this week, something seemed different at practice. Instead of his usual dominant self, Carter was seen working with coaches on the sidelines, taking only limited reps. For a team already dealing with defensive uncertainty, it was the last thing fans wanted to see. The Eagles' official injury report confirmed fears. Carter's heel pain worsened enough to reduce his workload, and he is now considered questionable for Sunday's matchup. He wasn't the only one listed. Names like Landon Dickerson, Jordan Davis, Zach Bond, Quinion Mitchell, and Grant Calcaterra were also added to the report. But Carter's status stands out, simply because of his importance to Philadelphia's identity. After all, this is a player who, even in his second NFL season, has already established himself as one of the most feared young defenders in the league. In 6 games, he recorded 10 tackles, consistently breaking down pockets and forcing double teams, which opens up opportunities for others. When Carter is on the field, the defense plays with swagger. When he's not, everything seems a little less intimidating. The timing couldn't be worse. After a blistering 4-0 start, the Eagles' momentum was suddenly derailed by back-to-back losses to the Giants and Broncos, exposing cracks that had gone unnoticed earlier in the season. Now, with the team's confidence shaken and rumors swirling around A.J. Brown, the locker room needs stability, and that starts with Carter anchoring a defensive line. Losing him, even temporarily, could tip the scales at a critical time in the season. Still, there is a silver lining. According to international team sources, Carter has been working hard to return to full play, putting in extra hours in rehab sessions and working closely with the medical staff. One coach reportedly said, "You'd have to chain him up to keep him from playing." That kind of determination is exactly what has made Carter a fan favorite and a key pillar for the future of this franchise. His potential absence also puts more pressure on Jordan Davis, who may need to shoulder a larger share of the internal workload, and on the new defensive linemen trying to prove themselves. The Eagles' rotation depth will be tested like never before, especially against a Vikings offense that has found its rhythm in recent weeks. With all the trade rumors surrounding A.J. Brown, the potential blockbuster move of Rick Woolen, and the injury concerns surrounding Jalen Carter, do you think the Eagles are starting to lose control of their championship season? Or is this just a lull before another Philadelphia comeback? Leave your opinion here, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back later to update you with the latest Eagles news.